And welcome back to the Beer Battered Sports Podcast, the podcast created by sports fans for sports fans, because we believe that we are the most qualified people to talk about our favorite teams. I'm your co-host Isaac,
I'm 40.
And I'm Noam.
and welcome to episode 105. You may be wondering, why are we back on Wednesday? We're not. We're just doing it Wednesday this week because one of us, who's I had to work last night. That's why I had to work last night, so we had to reschedule. But we're back to Wednesday, kind of a throwback episode. Don't worry, we will be going back to Tuesday nights regularly. We just had to reschedule this one night because of my work schedule being annoying and getting in the way. But anyway, welcome to episode 105. Lots to talk about this week. We've got a whole bunch of stuff from the NFL offseason we're going to get into, which has been going crazy. We got to talk about Caitlin Clark breaking the all-time record for points scored in NCAA basketball. We got to talk about LeBron James cracking 40,000. And, of course, spring training is still going on. Speaking of which, the Yankees are playing right now. Why do I not have the game up on my phone to watch? But in the meantime, let's start with our new segment. We always start with What's on Your Mind. And, Noam, how about you kick us off? What's on your mind this week? You are muted, my good sir.
Am I still muted?
Not anymore.
All right, I can hit nothing. It was fun earlier. All right, Jason Kelsey retired. That's the most obvious thing. End of a first ballot Hall of Fame career. Sad to see him go. I don't care much for the Eagles, but I couldn't even watch the press conference because I saw him getting emotional on the TV in this meeting. I was like, I'm gonna start feeling things I don't want to feel, so I decided not to watch it. But end of possibly the best to ever suit up as at center. Just phenomenal. Every year he was good. Last year was what, his 13th year, I think.
Yeah.
Still first team All Pro. Like, just crazy. Still undoubtedly the best center in the league.
He is the only center. I saw this on ESPN. He is the only center to have like more than six or more first team All Pro selections and win a Super Bowl. No other center who's had that many All Pro selections has ever won a Super Bowl. So
yeah,
there's a case to be made that he might be the greatest center of all time. There's a case to be made.
Yeah, for sure. There's some other names you could throw in there. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I said,
there's definitely a case.
Yeah.
I personally think he is.
I actually got to agree with you because I can't really think of another center who's like
Gelato.
There's some good ones out there, but like Kelsey, just there's something about Kelsey.
Who was Peyton Manning center?
Jeff Saturday.
Not even close.
I think Jeff Saturday's coaching tenure with the Colts last season or 2 seasons ago should automatically disqualify him from GOAT center status.
And I think that's a terrible take.
No. I think he did bad enough as a coach that we should disqualify him from being in the conference. Still a fantastic center, but greatest of all time. Man, you blew the largest lead. You blew the largest lead in NFL history, my man. I'm sorry. That affects your career, even though you weren't even playing.
It affects your coaching career. Yeah. But to me, he's not the GOAT anyway, so I'm not going to argue against it. But I don't think that moves the needle for me.
I mean,
me personally, anyway.
I'm gonna miss. I'm gonna miss Jason Kelsey. I don't think there's been a player who has exemplified what it means to be a Philadelphian more than Kelsey did. Just the amount of raw energy and passion he had for the game over the course of his career is something we don't see a lot with a lot of players.
Absolutely.
Like, honestly, I can't think of any other player who has been as crazy about what he does than Jason Kelsey is. Probably his brother, but I'm under strict rules to not talk about. I'm under strict rules to not talk about Travis during these games. By the way, champions. Just flexing that real quick.
Favorite team, like, oh, what a flex! Oh.
Noam, I put a warning in the comments beforehand. I said, please refrain from bullying Noam in the comments like people usually do. I'm gonna pull that back. Go off on him.
Absolutely pull it back. Yeah,
go off on that bully. Light up this Braves fan and his dumbass team.
Whatever.
Dude, Kylie was mad at work the other day. The Braves and Phillies were playing in spring training. The Braves won. Kylie was mad.
Oh, I didn't even know. All right, I gotta talk shit to her. Hold up.
Yeah. It is just preseason, but still, I mean, you Philly fan. All respect
to
Philly
fans. Good enough for me. You're bad. Last time you guys won. When was the last time they won? World Series?
2008.
2008.
Oh my God.
Get fucked. All right. That'll buzz in a couple minutes.
She's about to unleash her hordes on us like the last time this
Oh
happened.
yeah,
Um,
excited.
yeah. Calvin, what's on your mind? What do you got on your mind today?
LeBron James is the greatest basketball player to ever touch the basketball.
Oh boy, here we go. All right. Yeah, you know what? I'll give him his props. 40,000. Just that I don't
And
know if anyone's ever going to break that. I'm going to be honest with you guys.
the thing is, the guy's talking about signing another contract. So if he goes 2 to 3 more years, he might have 50,000, and nobody's ever touching that.
What is
It
his?
took him just as long. It took him just as long to get from 0 to 10,000 as it did for 30 to 40,000.
What is his secret? I wonder because he has been sustaining this level of play for over 20 years and is probably still going to be sustaining it for maybe even more. Like what is he doing that is because there is no way that most guys that age are able to move like that and continuously put up those points.
I mean, just comes with being the greatest, man.
Fair enough.
Wow.
I mean, everything. It's like you either. I feel like for most people, this isn't going to really move the needle. Oddly enough, I feel like if you just at this point, if
All
you're
right.
saying LeBron James is not the greatest player of all time, you're saying 6 rings, 6-0, Michael Jordan, and nothing else. And LeBron, he can't go 6 and 6.
Let me move the needle for those people. Fuck those 6 rings. Like rings is out the window because if we talk about rings, then Bill Russell is the greatest of all time. If we're talking about rings,
Fair.
so like this man scored 40,000 points. He's played 85 less games and 1,500 less minutes than Kareem Abdul-Jabbar did. And Kareem's number 2 with 33,000.
Whoa, that's crazy. I didn't even know that. Whoa.
I will say, and I'm
What
just
a
playing
career.
devil's advocate here because I want to say, Calvin, I agree with you because this has definitely moved the needle for me because I mean, like, holy crap. But
85 less games than the number 2 scorer all time.
So the point I'm going to make is this: to play devil's advocate, I will say that that modern NFL defense has been
Noam's looking it up right now to
or
check my
modern
stats.
NBA modern
I know
NBA
every
def,
LeBron stat.
modern NBA
I
defenses
believe you.
are not the same as they were during Kareem's era. So if to play devil's advocate, I would say, if someone were to play that, they would say, well, LeBron hasn't gone up as tougher defenses. But I don't think that really matters because the dude still managed to get it done.
I saw a clip of 80s and 70s and 90s defense the other day, and I just laughed at it because for all these old heads that talk about, oh, they played these crazy defenses, no, the bad boy Pistons played pissed off, angry defenses. The rest of these teams were soft as fuck. They were just letting Jordan walk to the rim and letting Larry Bird just walk to the rim. Like, the rest of these teams were soft as fuck. The Pistons, they were beating the shit out of people.
Yeah.
But like I don't know why all these old heads fight that 80s and 90s and defense and stuff like that. I saw a clip of Jordan the other day, and literally he was 1-on-1 on the baseline with a plumber, and nobody came to help defense. Like there was no help defense at all. I see several times where LeBron's being double teamed, triple teamed. Like the let's not forget the great game winner in 2018 against the Raptors in the playoffs. The man had 4 people on him. He still hit a buzzer beater. Like it's just no comparison anymore. Just like the old heads need to give it up. These young guys, the young guys that are our age that never saw Michael Jordan play, you just need to give it up because it's not even realistic. How can you say a man was greater than somebody that you never saw play before? We literally lived through LeBron for literally 20 years now, and people our age have the nerve to say Michael Jordan was better. How?
You can go back and watch film, but it's not the same. I get your point.
I want to restate my point from earlier, actually, real quick, because what I'm trying to say isn't like 40. Those are solid arguments. Those are arguments that to me are
it's kind of convincing.
That adds up, but it's pretty concrete. But to me, there are 2 types of basketball fans in the world. Either you believe LeBron James is the GOAT, or you believe Michael Jordan is the GOAT and the reason is because he went 6 for 6. So that's what I'm saying. So it's like for those people, LeBron reaching 40,000 is not going to move the needle, and neither is anything else because LeBron didn't go 6 for 6. That is the only reason. As I'm saying,
You
like
know LeBron. I mean, do you know they gave Michael Jordan a trophy once he hit 30,000 points? They gave this man a trophy. They
well,
stopped the game, and gave him a trophy.
they got really.
What?
I'll send
They
you the
got,
picture in our group chat. Don't worry.
I
All
believe
right.
you.
I
We
believe you.
got a. So, did they make a new one for 40,000?
Nah,
Are you
nah.
gonna change your name to 40,000? Is it just still
There's
40?
nothing for LeBron. It's not as great.
Hey, real quick, guys. Brief topic change, real quick. Shout out to Kylie, who just got a job in minor league baseball. Shout out to
Oh
Kylie.
shit! Hey,
Okay,
perfect tease.
Kylie.
Congrats,
See you
Kylie.
guys.
Good
Congrats,
on
See
you.
ya.
That's
Good on you.
major.
Wait, 40 is 40 short for 40K, by the way? I've always
40
wondered.
cow.
Is that a Warhammer reference? No, it's not. I was about to.
No, it was the amount of points LeBron has reference. I was like, I just 40 can predict the future. That's established podcast canon. So I figured that's probably why he chose his name 2.5 years ago or whenever he
Here's
joined. He just
here's
knew this
my
day would come.
question. Here's my
That was my
question, because
assumption.
I want to ask this question. Is anyone else going to break 40K? Because the way
No.
NBA scoring is going, like, I just got to ask, because the way NBA scoring is going with defenses getting more and more pasty, like, I just want to, is it possible for anyone else to break 40K?
For somebody to break 40K, they literally would have to play 20 years consistently and score literally 27 points a game, like every game they
Yeah,
play.
that's
Oh
not
my god.
happening. Because
Uh,
I think about it now with load management and players like just not playing games, resulting in the NBA having to step in and say, "Yo, y'all got to actually play your players." I don't think that's happening. Now I'm thinking about it.
Exactly now all teams do load management. LeBron actually played in an era where there was a time where LeBron played 70 to 80 games a year.
Hmm. He did. I actually would argue that NBA defenses peaked around when LeBron first joined, like in the early 2000s. That was when you had the Pistons and the Spurs, just insane defensive games, games where both teams would struggle to crack even 90 points. Again, my kind of basketball. Oh, take me back. But I'd argue that's where NBA defenses peaked, and LeBron was putting up insane numbers during that time
You
too.
know, another thing too, I don't even think the defense was really that good back in the day. What it was is the guys weren't as skilled as they are nowadays. Nowadays,
Yeah.
there's people that can score in various ways. Like
uh,
I saw a Michael Jordan highlight the other day. They saw the announcer saw him do a behind the back dribble, and they were like, "Oh my god, what did this guy just do?" If they saw Kyrie Irving now, those announcers would lose it. They wouldn't know what to do with their
The amount of
like
glazing they would do on
that's another
Kyrie
thing
Irving.
too. The guys just weren't as
I
they weren't
know
as skilled
40
as
is
back in the
pissing
day.
people
So
off right
that's
now.
like Jordan never beat Bird, never beat him.
I will. You know what?
He was
Calvin's got a
1-9
point
in the
because
playoffs before Scottie Pippen got there.
Calvin, you do have a point because back in Jordan's
Oh,
day,
he's pissing people off.
teams kind of had a guy that did everything. Like you think about those '90s Bulls. Jordan was their go-to guy, but they also they had Jordan and Pippen. They had Rodman, their defensive dude. They had like Luke Longley and the Tony Kukoc for their big inside the paint, big European dudes. And then they had Steve Kerr and Ron Harper as their 3-point shooters or point guards. So it was very today's basketball. It's positionless. It's called positionless basketball for a reason because everyone could kind of do anything. Like the team that I cover,
Yeah.
we got a guy who's like 6'5" who could dunk, shoot threes, shoot from the middle, play great defense. It's like this dude could do everything, and
What does he
it's
play?
Listen,
he's guard. He plays guard, but he could do everything. And it's like basketball's evolved
Point
where
guard?
shooting guard.
Shooting guard.
Yeah,
and
kind of.
don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. Jordan fans out there, 6-0 is fantastic,
Oh yeah.
1000%. But was Michael Jordan taking Daniel Gibson and Ilgauskas to the NBA Finals at 22 years old? And was he taking
Yeah, he
did,
was not.
Hey,
what
don't forget Eric Snow.
what about that 2018 team when he was a 4 seed and not even supposed to be there, and he took Larry Nance, J.R. Smith, who else was on
Isaiah
that?
Thomas.
Like, come on, he took those guys to the NBA Finals, and then he averaged a triple double in that Finals. He's the only player ever in NBA history to average a triple double in the NBA Finals
They
still
got
to this day.
swept, and they got swept in those finals, and he still pulled that shit off.
And if
I
J.R.
still
Smith doesn't
think
do that dumbass shit, we might have said the finals go a different way.
Oh my
I
God.
bet they do not get swept if they. I mean, obviously they don't get swept if they take game one, but I bet I've always thought that completely just put the dagger in them from the beginning. Because they already had such a hard job, and like stealing game one would have been just huge. To lose in that way, like to such an unnecessary mistake to cost you when you have to play perfectly and you just shoot yourself in the foot and then like the rest of your body too. They were done. I just knew it from that. I didn't even watch any of the other games, to be honest. I didn't even watch. I was like, it's
I don't
over.
even remember that finals, to be honest. I don't.
Except if George Hill makes a fucking free throw, you don't gotta worry about that anyway. So
That's
whatever.
that's all for what's on my mind, though. Just
Well,
a little thing out there. Bronny's
I
the
do.
greatest.
Well, what's on my? I'll do my mind real quick because I know we want to get to football. I got two things on my mind, both college related. First, congratulations to Caitlin Clark breaking Pistol Pete's all-time record.
Hey,
I'm a little bummed that she did it on a free throw, but at the same time, it's like, really that's how we break it, a technical foul and a free throw. Okay, but at the same
Caitlin
time,
Clark.
she's
I hope you love that. I hope you love that record for the next 18 years because I got somebody coming to break it in 18 years. She's already training right now.
oh yeah, I can't wait. I can't wait. I'm no, I watched a highlight reel of Pistol Pete compared to Caitlin Clark. They play basketball the exact same way. Two of the best shooters ever. Caitlin Clark's going to get me into the WNBA when she gets drafted. Like
for sure, me too.
The Indiana
Me too.
Fever have the first pick of the draft. They're already like, oh yeah, we're taking Clark. She's already declared for the draft. Like I might actually, dude, women's basketball is awesome. It's a lot like a lot like early 2000s NBA basketball. Not a lot
It's
of
on the
big
rise
flashy.
right now.
Yeah, yeah, it is like, there's so many big marketable names coming out of college
Yeah,
right
like
now.
That's so important.
you got Haley from LSU and Angel Reese. You got Caitlin Clark.
Pretty much everybody pumping out of South Carolina, they're a
Yeah,
juggernaut.
literally everybody out of South Carolina. You got the two girls from Stanford. I mean, USC's got some ballers too. I've been watching a
Juju
lot of girls
Watkins.
basketball this
Juju
year.
Watkins.
Yeah, Juju Watkins is a problem. She's a hooper.
I'm excited for March Madness. March Madness is coming up, by the way. Once the brackets are revealed, we will be filling one out on the show. Don't worry, we will be doing that. But my other thing I wanted to bring up on my mind real quick, and this will segue into our football discussion. So we talked briefly last week about NCAA 25 that will be coming out next year. And
I'm taking a day off work when that comes out.
oh yeah, I don't care how expensive it is. I'm getting that. But so they have been sending out waivers to all the college players, being like, "Hey, you want to be in the game? Just gotta sign right here. And you could get some proceeds from the game, part of the NIL deal." Pretty much every college player has been like, "Hell yeah, bro, I get to be in a video game." Guess who said no because they said, Arch Manning said, no, bro, I gotta focus on real football." And he is getting flamed on Twitter for that. Now, to be honest, I don't see why people are going after him because, like, look, I get it. Arch Manning has always been super, super, like, he doesn't have social media. He is always super focused on the game and proving himself. And I like that. I like that he's not being distracted by that. But at the same time, I just have listen. I respect his decision, but I do reserve the right to ask. Like, bruh, it was just literally you had to click a button on a website to say yes or no. That's it. That's the only thing I'm going to say.
You're saying being focused on the game doesn't.
No, I'm saying you could be. No, I'm saying I respect his decision, but also I understand why people are giving him shit for it because it was literally the easiest thing. It was. I don't think it would have taken away from his focus of the game, but I respect his decision.
I mean, this is the thing, though. Well, before I even get into what I was going to say, I saw this funny ass tweet on Twitter and it said, the man installed that 69 overall and said, "Oh, hell no, we're not putting my boy in that game." But this is the thing, though. It's like, what does being in a video game and not being in a video game have to do with focusing on the field? Like, I don't understand. Like, and that's every kid's dream growing up is you want to be in a video game. Like,
that's true.
What the hell does focusing on football have to do with being in a video game? I was absolutely confused with that, to be honest.
I don't know because Arch Manning has always been because like every story I've read about Arch Manning is that he is just so focused on getting to the NFL, so focused on perfecting his craft. I think that's where people. I think that's it's interesting because you don't really know a lot about him honestly because he doesn't have social media, he doesn't talk to the media, he basically just does his own thing. Then again, the media is always looking for opportunities to flame on players. I mean, this last week at the NFL Combine, all the stories about Caleb Williams were people trying to tear him apart when the bro
Before
literally.
we get into the combine, can I provide another perspective on the Arch Manning thing?
Go ahead, because I do want to get into the NFL offseason.
Arch Manning is a backup. He is more well known by a lot. Let me ask you guys, who is the starter? Don't look it up. Don't look it up. Just tell me.
Ewers. Quinn Ewers.
Quinn Ewers, yeah.
Correct. It's Ewers. Arch is more well known than his starting freaking quarterback. I don't mind him like taking it out. Just at the very least, it's like to not. As soon as anyone gets the game and plays as them, whatever, they're gonna start Arch.
Yeah.
So it's like, you're right. There's no. I don't see any correlation between focusing on the game and being in it. Like I don't get it either.
I mean, his name is bigger. His name is bigger, but if he was better, he'd be the starter. He's not.
Oh, he's not better. I'm not saying he's better. I'm saying he's more well known. His name is bigger.
Yeah, he's working on it though.
But because of that, people are gonna use him over Ewers anyways. So it's like, he's not in the game. Gives the starter a shot to play. You know.
Fair enough. With that being said, I think that's a great segue into our main topic for today, which is NFL offseason news, because a lot happened to the NFL offseason. We already talked about Jason Kelce retiring. Right. Had a bunch of franchise tags, bunch of signings.
Yeah.
I don't. Where do we start? Where do we start? Because there's so much.
Where do you want to start? Franchise tags. The most recent signing, which I think is Zach Ertz to the Commanders.
I did see that Zach Ertz goes to the Commanders.
Yeah. Yeah. 1 year deal.
You not see this, Commanders fan?
I don't know if that does anything for you.
Got my nice Redskins gear on right now. You know,
1 year, $5 million for Zach Ertz.
Zach Ertz.
Isn't Zach Ertz kind of washed?
He's totally washed.
I don't know. We'll see.
They need a replacement because they let Logan Thomas walk.
Logan Thomas, yeah.
Hey, no.
Fair enough, but to be fair, I've always liked Logan Thomas. I thought he was pretty scrappy and a very adaptable player. But I get, last year wasn't very good for him, so I get it. But if I were on any team, I'd probably bring him in. Let's just see. What else is there to discuss?
I know the Ravens franchise tag Justin
Madubuike. Yeah, Madubuike's been signed. What is that? $22.1 million. Oof.
I got the franchise tag tracker up here. So
Patrick Queen's gone.
So
Patrick Queen's gone.
Here are all the franchise tags so far. The Jaguars tagged Josh Allen.
Smart.
They
should just pay him now, though.
Yeah, the Panthers tagged Brian Burns.
Smart. But again, should just pay him.
Patriots tagged Kyle Duggar.
All right, I guess they couldn't. I don't know.
Who else do the Patriots have that's good enough to be tagged?
I don't know anyone.
I can't even name you somebody on the Patriots roster right now. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I guess Bengals tagged T. Higgins.
Yeah, that was an interesting one. Yeah, they definitely should have, but at the same time, it's like, isn't this Tyler Boyd's last year, or is his next year his last year?
Might be Tyler Boyd's. I don't know.
Is he free agent? Because if so, this tender makes a lot more sense. It makes me think that maybe they don't want to pay T. Higgins long term.
Could be. The Bears tagged Jalen Johnson.
Yeah, that was really smart of them.
Ravens tagged
the most underrated player in the league is Jalen Johnson.
Ravens tagged Justin Madubuike. Colts tagged Michael Pittman. Man, I wanted him for one of my guys.
Which of your teams did you want him for?
Bucks don't need him because they re-signed Mike Evans.
Boom. They did. Re-sign Mike Evans.
I guess the Chiefs could use some receivers, so they don't have to make me sweat during the playoff runs. That would have been nice.
Do you think they're going to re-sign Levante David?
The Bucks? I don't know. Because of our remaining big free agents, it's like Levante David and Baker Mayfield.
Yeah,
we gotta go with Levante David, bro. We gotta make him a Buck lifer. We can't let another generation of linebacker talent
agree.
go.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's a lot of quarterbacks out there that you can replace Baker Mayfield with.
Baker
He did
Mayfield
do well.
He did.
He
He
did
did
do
do
well.
well. He did.
But
That's the
yeah,
problem.
I agree with 40 for sure.
Because Baker put up a really good season for us. And the Bucks historically have not had very good quarterbacks outside of Brady and I can't believe I'm saying this, Jameis Winston. So finding a franchise quarterback would be really nice, but also the Bucks are a team whose whole foundation is on having a fuck you defense. So maybe it would
Levante
be
David, it's about legacy, man. He got to be a Buck
yeah.
for life, right?
Yeah,
Like,
he's like the
you're
reincarnation
gonna
of
be the
Derek Brooks.
Seahawks
He's yeah,
and
ew,
just let
gross.
Bobby Wagner walk like they are. Like,
Speaking of the Bucks, though, they did franchise tag Antoine Winfield Jr. Good. Chiefs.
good. You really should pay him. I don't know what
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know what's going on with this year. With like, I guess it's just not working out with all these contracts. But most of these players are players that, in my opinion, are necessary to keep on your team. Especially Antoine Winfield Jr. Like, regardless of anything, he should be one of the first players. I would cut Vita Vea to keep Antoine Winfield Jr. if you need to. Like, he is just so
No,
much more
we're
important.
not cutting to Vita. No,
I'm
I'm
not
not
saying you should. I'm just saying if I had to choose between the two, that's what I would do. But all right,
I'm not.
franchise tag, we'll see.
I'm not gonna. We're not. Screw it. I'm doing it. We are not. Bro, could you? My dog is refusing to let me use my arms. He is getting aggravated that I won't pet him.
Your dog is not a real dog.
Oh, my dog could. We're not okay. We're not cutting to Vita
Not the
Tuliaki
gatekeeper.
Ono, Tui Pelotu, Mosesi, Vahahi, Fahoko, Falitao Vea. We are not cutting him. All right. He is so good.
Look how fucking impressed he is with himself. Look how fucking impressed he is. Look how fucking impressed
Man,
he is, 40.
screw you. I
Look,
it's an in joke. I like saying his full name. All right. Don't be no. I'm podcasting now. You need to go over
I'm
there.
glad his dog is also disapproving.
Yeah,
Just like, boo.
the dog is aggravated that I won't pet him, so I have to hold my arms like this so he
I have a
doesn't
cat.
like try and bite him. Let's see who else got franchise tagged. Chiefs franchise tagged L'Jarius Sneed. And that's all of them actually. Notable players who have not been tagged: Saquon Barkley, not franchise
Yeah.
tagged ahead of Tuesday's deadline. He's set to hit free agency. Where does he go?
I'm glad they didn't do it a third year.
The number one spot I've been seeing a lot of hype around Saquon Barkley is Houston right now. And if that guy goes to Houston, then they have Nico Collins, Tank Dell, Saquon Barkley, CJ Stroud. And
That's
that
a lot
could
of
be a
weapons.
problem.
That could be a
That,
problem for the AFC.
if they could mesh correctly, that could be a problem.
What about
I like him in Houston right now. I mean, I also would like him in Baltimore too. I think those would be the best two spots for him, to be honest. But
I'd love
Baltimore
him in
doesn't have the money
Baltimore.
to pay that. Baltimore
They
doesn't have the
cannot
money.
afford him.
Yeah, we can't. The Baltimore can't afford that guy right now, unless they did like an Odell thing and gave him like 1 year, 20 million or some shit like that.
They couldn't even do it for next year. They don't have the money, especially after the tag. There's no way they have the money.
what about Xavier McKinney, who also was not franchise tagged?
Solid player, never really reached his potential, but he's been good. I don't think I would. Oddly enough, Saquon. I know I'm anti-running back, but Saquon would be my priority.
Yeah.
And then what about Christian Wilkins, not franchise tagged by the Dolphins?
Trying to summon my cat. He's a nose tackle. He's a good nose tackle. He can he can push the pocket a little bit. He's not just a run defender. I would not have tagged him. They did the right
I
thing.
don't think I would have tagged him either. And there's a couple of nose tackles in this draft that could replace him.
Plus, keep in mind they have to give Tua $100 million per year. So,
So, I do want to move on to this one thing from the NFL offseason. That was probably one of the bigger, more I wouldn't say shocking because we kind of knew it was coming. I guess we didn't think it would be coming now. Russell Wilson is gone from the Broncos. They have terminated the rest of his contract. Let's do it. Let's discuss this one. So
I must cleanse myself of a quarterback every year.
Oh my God, the Broncos.
I mean, getting fired and paid $82 million. I wouldn't be upset if I was him.
No,
but
he's chilling. What the fuck are the Broncos doing though? What the fuck?
Oh boy!
Like, look at the dead money. What the fuck are they doing? No, honestly, like, what are you answering me? What are they doing?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't
And
know.
me knowing my team, we'll probably be the ones to go get him. It saves us from drafting young. It also, it'll give Howell a mentor. Like, I just know how Washington works. And if I know Washington, we'll probably end up with that man on our roster.
It better not be the fucking Steelers. That's all I gotta say. That's the last thing I want is Russell Wilson on the Steelers. It's a landing spot that it is. They could.
That actually could be pretty deadly, honestly.
See,
Because
you see.
the thing is,
It makes sense.
Russell Wilson isn't trash. Like, he did
No, he's all
decline a
right.
little bit. He did decline a little bit after his hand surgery, but he's not garbage. Like, he can still play ball, and him on that team would be very lethal.
I don't know, man.
He was
because they have weapons.
He was good, not great. Last year, like he wasn't I wouldn't even say he was a bad quarterback last year overall. Like started out rough, but overall, I thought he like improved. Which is why, again, what the Broncos? What are you doing? Why?
Oh,
go ahead, Isaac. Say your anti-Sean Payton rhetoric.
I read
I know you want to.
I wasn't even thinking about Sean Payton. Now I will.
I actually read something today though that said the Broncos were looking to move on from Jerry Jeudy and Cortland Sutton as well.
Oh my God, they fully embraced the tank.
They're just stripping their whole team.
They fully embraced the tank.
Jerry Jeudy, okay. Number 2 receiver, drop issues, never reached potential. He's still good though. Cortland Sutton's a number 1 and always has been, and has just been the most underrated receiver in the league. Why?
I don't know.
I mean, maybe it's because they can't pay him because the cap hit from cutting Russ. They're like, we can't pay these guys now. Who could have foreseen this problem? What do we do? What the why? Like, why?
I do have to leave in like 3 minutes.
Gotcha.
Just heads up.
All right. Let's keep running through them. Get your reactions on the other stuff.
Mike Evans got re-signed.
Mike Evans. I think that was great for the Bucs. Like you said earlier about Levante David being a Buck for a lifetime, Mike Evans deserved to be a Buck for a lifetime.
Hell yeah, brother.
What else is there? Pittman, Kelsey.
Whatever quarterback comes in, I just hope he stays consistent and gets that guy his 1,000 yards.
It's not hard. Mike Evans, he has one route. It's the streak route, and he beats everyone on it. So no, for real, that's his only route, and he's really good at it. Just let him.
Oh my God,
very good at that streak route.
He's the best in the league at the streak route. There are faster receivers that are way faster than him, and he is better than them at the streak route.
I'm gonna really just butt in real quick and say that the Yankees are garbage, and we're letting up. Why do I watch these games, bro? It's spring training. We're getting ass kicked by the Rays.
You see how Isaac is going through like a whole character arc of this one episode? Earlier, you flash back to earlier in the episode. Why don't I have the game on? Fast forward till now. Why do I have the game on? Isaac, man, come on, bro.
This is how baseball works, bro. You start to watch the game, your team starts to get their butt kicked. You turn the game off. Then you think, I shouldn't have done that. Maybe they'll come back. You turn it on. They come back. It gets exciting. And then, bam, Anthony Santander hits a fucking game-winning home run, and you're forced to eat shit. I'm still not over that.
That was a great game, too.
Ugh.
Well, that I think. Trying to see if there's anything else for
football. There was the combine.
Ooh, there's a combine. 40. Got any takeaways?
Chop Robinson is probably going to be a very lethal defensive end in the NFL. At running a 4.48 is absolutely insane at his size. 260 pounds, 4.48 that's crazy.
It's crazy, insane speed.
Yeah, like that's crazy. So depending on the team he gets drafted to and the way that the defensive coach lets him play ball, he probably will be a very great contender for Rookie of the Year next year.
How about
Xavier Worthy,
the broken record?
I was just about to say Xavier Worthy, 4.22. That's insane. But I did like a take that someone at the combine said, and I don't remember who it was, what analyst it was, but he basically said it's funny how we see 17, and he exaggerated with the number. He was like, it's funny how we see 17 Deshaun Jacksons every year, but nobody has been Deshaun Jackson yet, because they had the same, his comparison was Deshaun Jackson because they're the same height. I think they were literally the same weight, 167 or something when they were coming to the league. Deshaun ran a 4.3 whatever or 4.29, and then he ran a 4.22. So they were comparing it, and then when I heard that guy say that, though, I was like, he's absolutely right, because I mean, we've seen John Ross come in, we've seen other guys come in at Deshaun Jackson's size, and nobody has been able to have the career Deshaun Jackson has had at that size yet. But shout out to Xavier Worthy for breaking the 4.2 record. That's insane. That's insane speed.
Insane speed. Jamal Adams cut.
I'm
You want to?
interested with. Oh, go
I'm
ahead.
sorry. No, I was going to ask 40 what his take on Jamal Adams and Quandre Diggs, Seahawks safeties duo.
I honestly, the Quandre Diggs thing, one team I don't want to see him on is Philadelphia. I don't know why, but I just feel like with Darius Slay being there, he has some type of influence. They were teammates in Detroit. Seeing that guy in Philadelphia back with his old teammate, they just lost Kevin Byard as well. They released Kevin Byard, so that could be a pickup for the Eagles. I mean, I think Quandre Diggs is good enough safety to be on a football team and make enough plays. Jamal Adams, though, I really don't feel as if I feel like he got the short end of the stick. He just couldn't beat injuries. I feel like Jamal Adams is still an elite talent, honestly. I just think that he's very injury prone these last couple of years, and if he can stay away from the injuries, I think he can be just as dominant as he was when he first came into the NFL.
I like the take. I don't think the Seahawks kind of changed. They used him a little differently from how the Jets were, and he's never really been able to hit that same thing. He's been better at other things. Like remember when he broke the record for like sacks as a defensive back or something.
Yep.
They love blitzing him. He plays a lot of linebacker. His coverage ability is just gone. I don't know what it could be the scheme.
That's a big thing. His coverage ability was absolutely horrible in Seattle.
Yeah, I don't know what I really just I have to. It was good in like it wasn't his specialty or nothing in New York, but it was a lot better. So I have to think they're like it's the scheme around him that they're just not using his talent correctly or something.
The Jets also play a lot more man to man than Seattle does. Seattle's always been like a zone scheme type of team. I mean, we saw with Richard Sherman for years.
Yeah, they love that press scheme.
My question is, where does he go from here? Where is he going next?
Honestly, I think he comes to Washington. We probably don't sign Cam Curl.
I'd rather have Cam Curl.
I would rather have Cam Curl as well, 1,000%. I hope we sign Cam Curl back, but it hasn't come across my tracker yet. So
I actually really like Cam Curl.
I love Cam Curl. Like
though he had a huge down year, I think they can get him back at a pretty good price because there's not going to be a big market for him. And I like the guy. Always liked his play.
Honestly, you know where I actually could see Jamal Adams? New York. I don't know why, but the Giants take players like that.
The Giants? If they don't keep McKinney around, if they don't resign McKinney, Jamal Adams is basically the same player, but a lot older and more high variance. Like he can be better, but he has been worse as of late. It wouldn't be a terrible replacement if they can get it to work. Bears release Eddie Jackson.
Oh, that's a shame.
Maybe he goes there. I know. I love
it. Teaming him up with Jaquan Brisker, that could be lethal.
Bucks released Shaq Barrett. That one hurt me. That one hurt. I loved Shaq Barrett.
Shaq Barrett was a baller.
Big Shaq Barrett fan.
Oh yeah. Wasn't there that news that came out about like who was it? Justin Fields potentially going to Atlanta.
So yeah, there's a lot of news now that the talk at the combine is Kirk Cousins actually being in Atlanta. Supposedly somebody very close to Cousins leaked that he was moving his family to Atlanta. So then, all the media guys put in the speculation, like, why would he be moving to Atlanta if he's not going to the Falcons, blah, blah, blah.
Justin Fields to Minnesota then? That would be really funny.
That was what was being said next, was Justin Fields would go to Minnesota, and him and Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison would be absolutely lethal.
Absolutely nothing. Those two receivers are the opposite of working with like Justin Fields' skill set. No, I don't think they could properly utilize him. Utilize Justin Jefferson. I
I
don't think.
honestly,
I don't think that's a good mix at all.
I think
Personally,
he would have been a better fit in Atlanta, to be honest. That's the way I see it.
He could just come to Washington.
I agree. It's just we don't really know what the new Atlanta thing's going to look like. Like, how,
Yeah.
he wouldn't work in Atlanta with Arthur Smith, where they don't use their weapons. But if they do want to use those weapons, then I can see Justin Fields be a better.
I see Arthur Smith pulling a '70s Tom Landry and just
He can just
alternating Justin Fields and his backup on different plays depending on his
everything
mood.
can just happen how I've been saying for months. He can come to Washington. We draft Marvin Harrison Jr. at 2. We have Marvin Harrison Jr., Terry McLaurin, and Jahan Dotson. With Brian Robinson and Justin Fields, we're looking all right.
Speaking of the mock draft, real quick. So after the combine,
I don't agree.
After the combine, ESPN released their mock draft, and I wanted to go over it with you guys. 40, if you got to go, I know you got to go soon, but if you got to,
I'll listen to about 1 minute. I don't hear anybody call yet.
So ESPN's first round now mock draft after the combine is this. So pick 1, Bears via Carolina select Caleb Williams. Pick 2, Commanders pick Drake May.
I wouldn't be upset with
that. Drake May, yeah, you know what, Drake. Yeah, I can see it. I will say I think low key North Carolina, the Tar Heels have become a quarterback factory recently. Like not a good one, but they've been pumping out a lot of notable names.
Kind of mid fucking quarterbacks, yeah.
Mitch Trubisky, Drake. Who was that other guy that went? What's his name?
Sam Howell.
Sam Howell. Yeah, it's like a QB It's like how Purdue always pumps out insane quarterbacks, but unlike Purdue, it's just mid.
Hey Drake, hey Sam.
So yeah, Drake May. With the 3rd pick, Patriots get Jaden Daniels.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
4th pick, Cardinals get Marvin Harrison Jr.
I'm sad they were ruined that young. I'm sad they were ruined that young man's legacy before it even started in New England. Like, why would you put him in New England? Like, Jesus Christ. Like,
yeah.
Oh my
God. 5th pick, Chargers trade it to the Bears. Bears select Malik Neighbors.
All right, I actually do hear somebody calling me now, so I do got to go, guys.
40, we will see you next episode.
See you next episode. Peace.
All right.
Just us now.
Oh, yeah. I won't go through the rest of this first round. So,
yeah, I'm curious.
6th pick, Giants select Washington receiver Rome. Oh, crap. I'm going to fuck this name up. Rome Odunze. I know I said that wrong. 7th pick, Titans select Notre Dame offensive tackle Joe Alt.
Okay. All right. Sure. Yeah. All right. Yeah.
First defensive player, 8th pick, Falcons select Alabama edge Dallas Turner. That would actually be that. Dallas Turner's a dog.
To Atlanta?
Yeah. I mean, building something up there in Atlanta. I'm just saying, the Falcons have been building something. They just haven't had a good coach.
I don't think Atlanta has this. Okay, hear me out a little bit.
All right.
Atlanta has a weird tendency to, with their defense, right? And this goes back, like Dan Quinn, Arthur Smith, like it's just kind of been consistent. They've tried to change things, but it's been varying levels of success. Their defense is like notoriously soft and like more cover focused than tackle focused, and even their I know I just said soft, but like their edge rushers, their guys are more like always like pass rushers, speed rushers rather than like run defenders. Dallas Turner is definitely a pass rusher by anyone's standards, right? But I don't know if he necessarily fits that. That being said, he's maybe he could work there. He could work there. I don't know. It's landing to me, like I said, destination. Like Brett Coleman says, destination is everything. So maybe we'll see. I don't know. I don't know if that's the best spot for him, but I think he would be good for them, if you know what I mean.
With the 9th pick, the Chargers, via their trade with the Bears, select Georgia tight end Brock Bowers.
Whoa. Whoa.
Uh-oh.
That's a good pick. That's a really good pick.
That is a good pick. I don't know. I feel like I feel like Harbaugh now there is going to lean on some of his Michigan guys to come. That's the thing.
In the first round, if Brock Bowers is there, I mean, which he will be.
Yeah.
I can see it.
Bowers was like single-handedly carrying the Georgia offense last season. So
He was crazy.
yeah,
And man, I don't know. That'd be interesting.
that would.
All right. Well, curious to see.
With
That would be interesting. That would be very interesting.
now we know who the Jets are probably going to need to protect somebody. So with the 10th pick, the Jets select Penn State offensive tackle Olumuyiwa Fashanu.
Just say Olu.
Olu Fashanu. There you go.
Olu Fashanu.
Yeah. You need to protect. Rogers is 41. You got to protect him.
Yeah, that's a good pick.
Oh yeah.
I think.
This next pick I hate, and I'm gonna go into a rant about it. 11th pick, the Vikings select Michigan quarterback J.J. McCarthy. All right, rant time. Time for a rant. I don't.
The what team?
The Vikings. J.J. McCarthy is the next Mac Jones. Bro was a mid quarterback on a national championship team that was bailed out and carried to relevance because his position players around him were studs. He's Mac Jones all over again. J.J. McCarthy is not good. If you watch film, this dude is been carried by Blake Corum his entire career. Think of it like this. Remember how Mac Jones had an insane season in 2020, but the Heisman went to his receiver and not him, not the guy throwing it to him? Yeah, it's literally Mac Jones all over again. He's going to go to the Vikings. He's going to be he's going to surprise some people at first. They're going to think, oh, this guy could do it. And then he's going to fall apart. He is literally just Mac Jones all over again.
I cannot disagree, to be frank. I mean, I don't know if he's Mac Jones, but
okay, he's probably not Mac Jones, but he's got Mac.
It's reminiscent of everything you said is accurate, and I don't really necessarily believe in JJ McCarthy. So yeah, I don't think he's a first round prospect.
Michigan wasn't a passing team last year. They were a run first team. They were a ground and pound offense that got it done on the ground with their running backs and their defense. And look what happened. It won them a national championship. Also a tiny bit of cheating too. Tiny bit of cheating. But the point remains. This was a team that essentially this team did not need their quarterback to bail them out. He just was there to run the offense. I wish the best of luck for JJ McCarthy.
The most accurate quarterback.
Yeah, I don't understand why he's being considered a top prospect. He's not. He was a game manager for a national championship team. He's like one of those forgotten Bama quarterbacks from back when Saban was running the old, just give it to Eddie Lacy, Trent Richardson, or Derrick Henry, and don't turn over the ball. He's one of those quarterbacks. He's not gonna be. Look, I hope he proves me wrong. I genuinely hope he proves me wrong. I always hope that when I'm talking about prospects, because these are children after all. But, it's like, hello, I'm Mel Kiper and I've ranked the children. Gridiron Heights reference. But I just don't see it why he's being considered. Do you need physical touch that bad, buddy? This is sad. Look at this. Okay, well, he doesn't want to be on camera. Never mind. The second I turn the camera towards him, he freaks out. Yeah, that's my take on JJ McCarthy.
I agree. This is the what team's taking him? The Vikings.
Vikings.
I think JJ McCarthy to succeed immediately, he would need to go to a perfect system that has everything in place except the quarterback, and I think he'd run that system fine at best because landing spot is everything. You give him a perfect landing spot, he can operate it. I think he'll be fine. I don't think the Vikings are that, despite having the best receiver in the league. So. Yeah, I don't like it either. I'm with you.
12th pick, Broncos select Florida State edge Jared Verse.
Who?
Jared Verse.
Which team?
Broncos select Florida State edge Jared Verse. I don't think that's what Denver
what are they
needs
doing for quarterback?
I don't know. Drew Lock is coming back, baby.
They're going to sign Joe Flacco again, baby. Second stint.
They're going to sign Joe Flacco. Oh, my God.
Second stint.
John always looks like, I like that he's tall. That's all that he's going to look at.
I like that he's tall.
13th pick, Raiders select Texas defensive tackle Byron Murphy II.
Solid. Yeah. Okay. Wouldn't hurt. I think you could maybe do some offensive stuff, but that's all right.
14th pick, that team from New Orleans selects Oregon State offensive tackle Talisi Fuaga.
Solid. Good pick.
Hey, it's not going to stop them. It's not going to stop them from achieving Derek Carr's dream of becoming the first quarterback in NFL history to lose to all 32 franchises. Let's go, baby.
Oh, maybe he will.
Maybe he will. 15th pick, Colts select Alabama cornerback Terrion Arnold. Love it.
That'd be good, I think.
16th pick, Seahawks select Missouri defensive lineman Darius Robinson.
Okay. All right. Why not? Not a huge Robinson person.
17th pick, Jaguar select Toledo cornerback Quinion Mitchell.
I think they are the all right. The first one I was like, but at this point I think there's better cornerback prospects on the board. Is this
There is a very big one out of Alabama they're completely
I
skipping over.
know, yeah. I'm like,
Yeah, a certain one with a funny
totally.
name that announcers are going to have trouble not laughing about. Ugh. 18th pick, Bengals select Alabama offensive tackle J.C. Latham. I actually like that. About time that they start picking up some offensive linemen to save Joe Burrow. They managed to.
We'll see if it works. So they do need it.
Last year proved that they have to save Joe Burrow because he's the only one who could beat Kansas City.
Yep, fuck you. It finally came back full circle for them. Hey, not protecting quarterback goes down. Crazy, right?
Yeah. 19th pick, the Rams select Clemson cornerback Nate Wiggins.
Okay, Wiggins is good.
He was
probably better. But Wiggins is great, so
he did hurt himself during the 40-yard dash, though. Remember that.
What was the injury?
I think he pulled something.
He could be fine.
Should be okay. Yeah, I'll be fine. 20th pick, Steelers take Georgia offensive tackle Amarius Mims.
Yeah, that would be a good pick for them, and yeah, that'd be okay.
Protect whoever their quarterback is.
Yeah, whoever it might be.
With the 21st pick, the Dolphins select Oregon center Jackson Powers Johnson.
I'm not familiar with the prospects. Dolphins selecting a center? Sure, why not?
He played all 792 snaps at center, also has experience at guard for his first 2 seasons with Oregon, and is capable of playing any position inside. Sturdy base, raw strength, potential day 1 starter.
Mims?
Jackson Powers Johnson.
Jackson Powers, I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, he's good.
22nd pick. Eagles select Oklahoma tackle Tyler Guyton. They're gonna need.
We can assume that Dickerson's gonna be center.
Yeah,
I think we can assume that.
Or Lane Johnson.
Yeah, that's a solid pick.
Yeah, I mean they need to find a replacement for Kelsey. Might as well. 23rd pick. The Texans select UCLA edge Latu.
Texans select an edge rusher?
Yep. 23.5 sacks at UCLA in 2 seasons.
He's don't get me wrong. He's phenomenal. He might be the best edge rusher in the class, but
yeah, I mean he would be opposite Will Anderson.
You know what? That would be a great one, honestly, because he could be so good. If that lands and works out, you have what they could have had with if the Jags had drafted Hendrickson not Hendrickson, Hutchinson instead of Trayvon Walker. With Josh Allen being this good, they'd have had like the best edge duo in the league. If those two work out, because we know Anderson's worked out. If that would be, if he does work, that would be crazy for them. That would be a phenomenal pick. God, they'd be so dangerous. Jesus Christ.
With the 24th pick, the Cowboys select Washington tackle Troy Fatanu. Tyron Smith is probably not going to be back in Dallas, so yeah.
There's some holes that they got to address. That's a good pick for them.
With the 25th pick, the Packers select Iowa defensive back Cooper DeJean.
The Packers a defensive back? That could actually be. In my opinion, he's the best corner in the league out there right now.
He is coming off a broken leg, but he will be able to work out for teams before the draft. So the Packers only had 7 interceptions last season, which was second to last in the NFL.
That doesn't mean anything to me. Interceptions are completely dependent on the quarterback throwing them, not the defense. So
fair enough.
Yeah, that could be good. They do need some help.
25th pick, 26th pick, the Bucks select Penn State edge Chop Robinson. Need a replacement for Shaq Barrett.
I don't like that pick.
You don't?
Is that their biggest need right now? I'm trying to think.
I don't know. Quarterback. If we don't re-sign Baker, it might be quarterback.
But drafting it. There's still some QB options that are available, and that people are saying would be good first round options. Like Bo Nix is still available.
Yeah, a lot of those guys look like they're going in the second round on this.
That's interesting. I mean, that makes sense. Quarterbacks, they always get a little bit overhyped during draft season, and everyone's wondering when they would go. Obviously, of course, Spencer Rattler is available.
Yeah,
Michael Penix. Spencer Rattler is such a Bucks quarterback. Holy crap!
he is though.
He's the next guy.
Yeah, wait, I like that. I like that because he's got the cool name. He's like,
he's
bro.
an asshole. He's like, yeah, like he already has stuff. He already has like some baggage on him.
He went to Oklahoma,
dude. Man,
and
I don't
South
know.
Carolina. He went to a small school.
I do think the projected pick is better.
Stop.
It's probably better for them. Chop is probably better for them than that.
With the 27th pick, the Cardinals select Kool-Aid McKinstry, cornerback, Alabama.
I'm not sure he's going to fall this far, but
I don't think he'll fall that far either.
It'd be a good pick, though.
28th pick, the Bills select Texas wide receiver Donnie Mitchell. They need some. Gabe Davis is a free agent. Yeah, I think so.
Hold
on. Adonai, maybe. I don't know.
It's Adonai.
Gabe Davis is a free agent. They need a wide receiver 2 behind Stephon Diggs.
I think there are better options available, but he is. Yeah, he'd be good. I think. I think he could be good.
29th pick, Lions select Illinois defensive tackle Jerzan Newton.
I'm not familiar with Newton.
I'm not familiar with him either. He had 7.5 sacks and 10.5 tackles for a loss last season in Illinois.
If he's good, it addresses a big need for them. So
I don't know. I feel like cornerback. I feel like they have a bigger need at cornerback.
They do. Yeah. But
there's
Wiggins,
a lot of good
Kool-Aid, Dijon are now off the board at this point.
Yeah.
The rest, I feel like you take him in the rest of the second round or later. You can get a cornerback. I feel
like. With the 30th pick, the Ravens select LSU wide receiver Brian Thomas Jr.
Can we not? Okay, how many years are we going to do this, guys? I get it. Oh God, we just need help. We just need to get them receivers. We've been doing that, and the receivers are developing, and we're not necessarily utilizing them correctly, my guys. All right, Marquise Brown. Who's the guy after Brown? Was it Rashad Bateman? Who's the other? That Zay Flowers. Like we are now we're gonna like. I mean, don't get me wrong, Hollywood's gone, but like I don't know if that is our biggest need, to be frank. But maybe it is. You know what? A receiver will be fine because we're gonna lose Odell. Our secondary is kind of set already. An edge rusher wouldn't hurt, although people aren't gonna like that. We got Odafe Owe, he's great. Ojabo's all right. Clowney's not coming back, no way. I think an edge rusher is a little bit more of a need than a receiver, personally, but I get it. I hope, if that does happen, I think he'll be great with us.
With the 31st pick, the 49ers select Missouri cornerback and Enos Rakestraw Jr. What are some of these names, bruh?
Not the corner I would have taken here, but that's all right. Whatever. I think that's a dumb pick for them. I think they have plenty of needs.
And with the last pick of the first round in the mock draft, the Chiefs select Texas wide receiver Xavier Worthy. I don't think he's dropping that far. I think
he's already a good receiver. Like he's already was high as a prospect. Not terribly high, but he was high, and then
they need somebody.
You know what? They're looking for that Tyreek Hill speed again. Mm-hmm. They're trying to do that. I think they should draft a quarterback. That's what they should do.
What?
Just a first round quarterback. Oh, I think about it. Hear me out. Okay.
You better hear me.
Mahomes is the best quarterback in the league. But hear me out. The Chiefs organization, as I'm sure you've seen the report by the NFLPA, is like one of the 5 worst organizations to be a part of.
I
So I
did.
can see them aiming the rocket launcher downward and just firing it and just drafting a first-round quarterback. And I think that's where you take Bo Nix. I think he's the exact Mahomes replacement that they do not need in any way, but I can see them doing it. I can't see them doing it. Andy Reid's not an idiot, but it's fun to imagine the Chiefs imploding.
So you bring up an interesting thing there. Let's move
Hmm.
on to the NFL Players Association report card.
Yes.
Because players released their report card here. So they graded players on multiple different categories. So I'm going to read these off for you now. First up, treatment of families. Best grade in the class goes to the Vikings, who got an A for their treatment of families. Worst grade goes to the Commanders, who got an F-.
And where are the Chiefs? I think are middle of the pack. They're about middle of the pack, a little bit lower.
The best food is the best food or / cafeteria. Dolphins A. Get the
Eagles
top marks.
A too.
Also, yeah, Eagles also got an A. Bottom marks, Bengals negative F. Negative F. F-. I read that horribly.
Ravens got a C+, and that it's Baltimore. What you can expect is mostly old day craps. It's mostly Jimmy's seafood. Fair enough.
Eat your seafood and you like it.
I want to point out the Chargers and the Saints also got an F. Which surprises me for NOLA. That really shocks me for NOLA. You got to be a poverty organization to have bad food in NOLA. That's crazy.
Listen, I hate the Saints and I hate that entire city, but God, that food is so good.
Phenomenal. What are you doing?
Alligator po' boys, bro.
Clowns.
Nutritionist / dietitian. Top marks go to the Dolphins and Vikings, both with A's. Good job.
Falcons,
Alex.
Raiders, and Texans with A-.
Worst grade in the class went to the Bengals with an F-.
The Bengals are horrible.
The Chiefs also
the Chiefs got an F here too.
Yeah, I know. I'm concerned about that.
Don't forget, third to last place is the Steelers with a D. They're terrible. Bills D+. Bears C+. Where are the Ravens at? Commanders B-. You know, I haven't seen the Commanders too much, frankly. I figured, it's coming. Never mind.
Yeah, it's coming. It's coming.
B- for the Ravens.
Best locker room. Three teams got A's. It was the Dolphins, Vikings, and Cowboys. I see the Cowboys because Jerry Jones likes to pump out that cash, but Dolphins and Vikings are really impressing me right now. They've done a really good job. If only their play on the field reflected their performance.
Eagles B-, Ravens B-.
Here it is. Worst locker room. Commanders F-.
And Chiefs F. Steelers
what is
F.
wrong
Cardinals
with the Chiefs?
F. Chargers F. Falcons F. So literally every clown organization is there, and the Chiefs. Like every memeable organization has an F, and then there's also the Chiefs who are not memeable, but they're just there too because they're all right. That's crazy.
Best
Bad
training
locker
room. Best training room.
Hold on, no. Don't just move on. Does that not surprise you? The Chiefs have one of the worst locker rooms in the league. Does that not surprise you?
I'm trying to ignore it, bro. I'm trying to ignore it.
Address it.
Their facilities were built in the 70s. Give them a break.
But that's not just all right. I'm just
listen. We gotta wrap this up so we can wrap up today's episode. But
fine.
This whole thing. All right. If we have to stop, make comments, we will. Training room. A, Dolphins, number 1 again. Good shit. Dead last. Commanders, negative F. Best training staff.
Chiefs got a D. They're second to last in that.
Best training staff. 5-way tie for the best grade. Dolphins, Eagles, Giants, Falcons, and Panthers, all with A-. Not bad. Not bad at all. 2 worst training staffs are the Commanders and Chiefs with Fs.
What the fuck?
What is wrong with the Chiefs, bro?
This is great.
This is bad. Best weight room. 3-way tie. Dolphins, Raiders, and Bills with A+. Hey, I'll give you this. Raiders got that because with how physical the Raiders are, their weight trainers, their athletic trainers, and strength coaches are in there just screaming at them, motivating the hell out of them. Worst weight room goes to the Patriots and Falcons with Fs.
They're soft. I'm telling you, they're soft.
They're soft. Best
Buccaneers got to be. They're good.
Yeah, man. Best strength coach. A whole bunch of A's to give out here, but it was a 5-way tie. Dolphins, Bills, Vikings, Panthers, and the Commanders. Wow.
Did they get lost in the A's?
They got a good Commanders got a good strength coach. Not bad.
Eagles A-, Bucks A-, Saints A minus. Not apparently it's not overly hard to do too well in that. Most teams have at least a B.
The team,
There's no teams with the D. You got the worst team, and then you just have a bunch of C's.
the worst team, by the way, the Falcons with a
They're horrible.
F minus.
Strength coaches,
Horrible.
they're soft. I'm
They're
telling you,
so soft.
they're
They're
the only. Not only are they the worst, but there's a gap. That just goes to show you, man.
Overall team travel, best record goes to the Dolphins again with an A. Look at this little goody two shoes getting straight A's.
Saints with a B, 49ers C plus.
Oh, this
Eagles
one is
C,
bad. This is bad.
Falcons C,
Hey,
Ravens C minus.
Ravens got a C minus. I know why, because I've seen the Ravens travel. Their jet is an old Atlas Air jumbo jet. You see it sometimes at BWI.
Yeah,
Man,
it's not that good,
could be
but it's
better.
better than the Chiefs D rating and the Commanders F rating.
Commanders, Bucks, and Titans all got an F. What the fuck
That
are
sounds
we
about
doing,
right.
guys?
That sounds about right.
We're traveling out of one of the most pristine airports. Ugh,
Yeah, I don't know.
pisses me off. Head coach, Vikings. A pluses go to the Vikings. Shout out to Kevin O'Connell. The Lions didn't
Dan
saw
Campbell
that
makes
saw that
total
one
sense.
completely sense. And the Chiefs, man, as bad as the Chiefs are in their other categories, God, they love Big Red.
All A pluses for those teams.
Yeah.
Teams with an A: Dolphins, Rams, 49ers, Eagles, Bengals, Seahawks, Cowboys. That surprises me. Bills, Steelers. That surprises me. The Ravens are all the way down at B plus, which is not horrible. Who's the worst?
The Raiders with a D. That's the Josh McDaniels. That D for McDaniels.
That has to be McDaniels. Yeah,
Yeah, because
the
they love
Commanders are
Pierce.
above them with C.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. And now, oh boy, for owner, the best two owners of the league are Ziggy Wilf of the Vikings and Stephen Ross of the Dolphins with A pluses.
Eagles and Jags, also an A. Ravens also got an A.
Not bad. The worst
Go ahead
owner.
and read us the Fs. Yeah, go ahead.
So Fs go to the Roonies of the Steelers, the Bidwells of the Cardinals, but the worst owner with an F minus are the Hunts of the Chiefs.
Ooh. What's the story behind that?
The Hunts aren't exactly great people, from what I've heard.
Oh well, let's not also forget, just to add a little cherry on top, of the fourth ranked worst team in this area is the Bucks.
The Glazers are also not great people. So,
where are the Packers? How do they rate the Packers?
How do they rate the Packers? And
they're an A. Like having no owner is an A, I guess.
Probably. I'm curious about the So here was the Ravens individual report card. They ranked 15th out of 32 teams.
Middle of the pack.
Yep.
I thought we'd do better for the NFLPA.
Well, actually, here, let's take a look at the Chiefs and figure out what's going on, because they did not do well at all. So the Chiefs ranked 31st out of 32 teams.
Oh my god, who's worse as the Commanders?
Probably. Treatment of families. They provide family room at the stadium. They provide daycare across the street on game day. A number of players want daycare to be offered on site, like most NFL teams, which would make it much more convenient for the families. The food ranked 25th overall in taste and 27th overall in freshness.
It's Kansas City, guys.
They got barbecue there, bro. What are we doing? The team's head dietitian was given the second lowest individual grade compared to other dietitians around the league. Major issue players feel is that she is rarely present at the facility, and only 37% of players feel like they get an individualized plan. Locker room,
not good.
74% of players feel like the locker room is big enough. 63% feel like they have enough room. The good news is that after many years, the team finally provided actual chairs for players to use at their lockers. What?
Dude, most teams have had that for decades. Like, and I've seen videos from the Vikings like years ago. The Vikings have had that for years.
Training room. 66% of players feel they have enough full-time trainers. 48% feel they have enough full-time physical therapists. 82% of players feel like they have enough hot tub space. 81% feel like they have enough cold tub space. And many players feel like the training room is significantly understaffed, and it also lacks the necessary equipment that is found standard in most other training rooms.
That is pathetic to hear.
They got an F in training staff. The team's head trainer is given the second lowest overall grade. 43% of players feel like they receive enough one-on-one treatment. The players feel that the training staff only slightly contribute to their success. The Chiefs trainers received the lowest score across the league in this category. A number of players feel like the staff is not willing to provide support or treatment to all players, and some players say they are unable to get rehab done to prepare for practice and reference an overall lack of care by the team.
That is very embarrassing to hear from your Super Bowl champions, but
Yes.
it doesn't matter because they'll just win the Super Bowl anyways.
Weight room, C+. Players feel like the equipment quality in the weight room is average. They feel like they do not have enough space to effectively train in the weight room, and a majority of Chiefs believe their facility is no better than off-site locations where they could train. Only 5 other teams in the league have similarly poor impressions of their own weight room. They got a C+ in their strength coaches. 76% of players feel like they get an individualized plan. The players feel that the strength coaches moderately contribute to their success. D in travel. 83% of the players feel like they have a comfortable amount of personal space during flights. The Chiefs are one of 7 teams that require some of their players to have roommates the night before a game. Head coach, they got an A+. The Chiefs gave high ratings. Andy Reid got the highest ranking among head coaches in the league. He received a 9.77 out of 10. 95% of players feel like he's efficient with their time. Players feel like that he is willing to listen to the locker room. Ownership, here's the big one, F-. Club owner Clark Hunt receives a rating of 4.9 out of 10 from Chiefs players when considering his willingness to invest in the facilities.
And I don't know what to tell you. It's interesting.
Yeah. I want to see, before we go, I want to see what the Commanders did because they were at the bottom too.
Yeah, I'm curious about them too.
So
I want to hear this written report,
They were last. When asked what the number one issue respondents want to prioritize for fixing, most players couldn't come up with just one. Oh boy.
It's funny as hell. They're just like, they start making a list. They're like, oh, where do I start?
All right. Treatment of families. They're one of 12 teams that do not provide a family room during games. They are one of 7 teams that provide no daycare support for players' children on game day. They are one of 4 teams that do not offer either. Some returning players report some improvements compared to last year, including a few new family events and a better, more private post-game family area. Many players want the team to offer daycare and a family room like most teams in the NFL. Their food ranked poor in taste and freshness. 58% of players said that only 58% of players feel like they can individualize nutritionist plan.
That's horrible.
That's
pathetic.
Only 26% of players said they have enough room in their individual lockers. 19% of the players said the locker room is big enough. Most players feel the locker room is too small and in need of renovation. Players also mentioned issues with cleanliness, citing multiple sewage leaks this season.
Dude, and keep in mind, based on what that just said, this is an improvement.
Yeah.
This is an improvement. That's crazy.
51% of the players feel like they have enough full-time trainers. 34% feel like they have enough full-time physical therapists. 36% say they have enough hot tub space, but 56% say they have enough cold tub space. The team brought in more staff. The team brought in more staff this year, but many players still feel like there are not enough trainers and physical therapists in the training room. Players need larger hot and cold tubs that do not constantly break down and are more sanitary. Some feel that the equipment in the training room is not up to the standard of a professional sports team and needs to be upgraded.
Wow.
The players rated their head trainer is the lowest across all teams. Only 52% of players feel like they receive enough one-on-one treatment, and the players feel that the training staff just slightly contributes to their success.
That you hate to see it happen, bro.
Now, the players did feel like the players said that the quality of the equipment in the weight room is average. They said they do not think they have enough space in their weight room. A majority of Commanders players believe their facility is no better than off-site locations where they could train, and only 5 other teams in the league have similarly poor impressions of their own weight room.
That's horrible.
However, their strength coaches got an A. They're 5th best, with players saying 98% of the players feel like they get an individualized plan. The players feel strength coaches significantly contribute to their success, and the players are very complimentary of their entire strength staff.
That's crazy. What a weird outlier. There's like, that's what we need to not be soft.
The players rate their travel schedule position among the worst of the NFL. 50% of the players feel like they have a comfortable amount of personal space during flights, and but the Commanders do not make players have roommates before games. In terms of head coach, 76% of players feel that former head coach Ron Rivera was efficient with their time, and the players feel that Ron Rivera was somewhat willing to listen to the locker room.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense.
They did get a B in ownership, saying that club owner Josh Harris receives a rating of 8.6 out of 10.
All right, that's not bad. So they're just used to Dan Snyder. That's why. I don't think he's that good. I just think he's not Dan Snyder.
Dolphins got number 1, by the way. They got straight
did.
A's. They got straight fucking A's.
Jesus Christ. Who are the top 5?
Dolphins, Vikings,
Yeah, makes sense.
Vikings, Packers,
Really interesting.
Jags.
Interesting.
It looks like the Bears.
What?
Wait,
No
are
fucking
the
way.
Bears?
Are you? Did you turn it upside down,
No,
Isaac?
Bears are 10th. Bears are 10th.
Okay.
Right.
It's impossible. Who's fifth?
I can't find it. It doesn't tell me who's 5th. Packers got 3rd. Jags got 5th.
Wait, but then who got fourth? Is this? Are you doing this manually, like in your head? Are you trying to like
I
look
am
through all
manually.
32 and
Shut
one?
up. So it's Dolphins, Vikings, Packers. Is it these guys? No. Who?
It's the Saints. Is it the Saints? Is it the
No, they're
Saints?
19th. They're 19th. Fuck off. They're
Oh,
19th.
damn, that's
That
horrible.
food score really held them back.
That's fucking hilarious.
Oh no! Don't tell me it's these guys. No, thank God it's not the Cowboys. Oh, thank
Well,
God.
that would make sense. Jerry World, living in Jerry World's probably not too bad.
San Fran? No, San Fran is 6th.
All right, I'll take your word for it.
Is it? No, it's not the Falcons. Eagles. Eagles are 4th.
Oh, okay. I'm glad we waited so we can appease them. No, yeah.
Yeah.
See, the Eagles are notorious to have a great team and a great organization and a great facilities. Nothing but positive things to say.
Holy crap, we have like 20 viewers right now. Where did that come from?
I told you, man. I advertise.
I know you do. With that being said, guys, we're going to wrap up today's episode. We want to thank you guys so much for watching another episode of the Beer Battered Sports Podcast. As always, this podcast is a proud affiliate of the Fired Up Sports Network. Go support all the other podcasts and please remind them that while we are not from Philly, we worship and respect all Philly sports, and please do not come for us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Braves beat the Phillies. On that note, just to remind, also tell them that while you're there, telling them how much we love Philadelphia and the Fired Up Sports Network. Just be like, the Braves and how good they are.
You guys can follow us on all of our socials at @bbsports_pod. Check out our Twitter bio for our official merch. We will see you guys next week back on Tuesday, the regular time. Thank you guys for putting up with us for changing back to Wednesday this week. We will see you guys next week. Peace.
See ya.